Welcome, everybody, to the Cone of Shame Veterinary Podcast. I am your host, DrAndyRoark. Guys, I am here with Sarah Parsons, LVT. For those of you who do not know her, Sarah is the creative force behind the What Really Happens at the Vet Instagram, TikTok, young person social media outlet that she runs. She's an LVT, and she makes really funny videos and content. We talk about one of her videos getting 48 million views, and like she's got a string of hits. If you want to find some stuff that is positive and funny, check her stuff out. She's really she makes me laugh. And so anyway, I was really glad that she was here. We are talking about brand building today. We're going to talk about what it means to build a brand in modern social media, and that's really her interest is in video creation and in putting stuff out online and starting to build following. And so I know a lot of people are interested in what it means to build a brand as a vet professional, maybe specifically a veterinary technician, and we get into that. And so she's got some good advice, and it's fun talking to her sort of about her journey. I think you guys will enjoy it. Let's get into this episode.
This is your show. We're glad you're here. We want to help you in your veterinary career. Welcome to the Cone of Shame with Dr. Andy Roark.
Welcome to the podcast, Sarah Parsons. Thanks for being here.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Super excited.
It's my pleasure. For those who do not know you, you are an LVT and the creative force behind the What Really Happens at the Vet Instagram and TikTok channels. You are very funny. I genuinely really enjoy your work. Yeah, you have amassed a massive following. You are one of the most popular veterinary influencers that I see out there. You are definitely one of my favorites for reasons that we'll talk about here in a moment when we get going. You are going to be speaking at the Uncharted Team Lead Summit with me in September. It's September 17th. Tickets are going to go on sale in July. It's a virtual summit for head technicians, head CSRs, things like that. So let's go ahead. I want to go ahead and just sort of start off. I want to talk today about brand building. And it's something that I think a lot of people are really interested in. It's sort of an interesting topic. I want to talk to you. Honestly, I sat down and you and I were going to do some work together in some other ways. So I had a couple of things I kind of wanted to do with you, but then I was like, what is the one thing that I would honestly like to talk to Sarah about? And it's this. Yeah. So this is my real topic about, I want to look at building a brand. I want to look at building a brand as a technician or a support staff member. I want to talk a little bit about modern social media. I want to talk about the vet world on modern social media and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and start off with your resume. Can you kind of lay down, where do you publish your content? You know, how long have you been doing it? Just give me a picture of what really happens at the vet empire.
Of course. So it's, I feel like it's a lot more simple than really, how it's being portrayed. But I do post
Roll with
on...
it, trust me. Just act like you're, like, as one influencer to another. Like, take yourself very seriously and roll with it.
No, there's really a lot more that actually goes on behind the scenes and
So much.
looks at it. Because I think a lot of people say, like, oh, she posts funny videos and what? That's, and basically that's it. But there's a whole lot more that goes into it. I do post videos. That's, my main platform, of course, is posting my social media videos. I post on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, cross post on most of those platforms and everything. And I post funny, silly, relatable videos about veterinary medicine. My handle is What Really Happens at the Vet. I honestly thought that my main audience was going to be pet owners.
Yeah.
So whenever I started that is kind of why the handle was what it was. And that's just kind of how I started and how my thought process was starting off. But I realized very quickly that my audience was mainly veterinary medicine, veterinary professionals. I'm talking veterinarians, vet techs, veterinary assistants, CSRs, practice managers, anyone in the veterinary professional field. And the reason, I think people resonated with these videos is because they're so relatable to veterinary medicine. If you know, whenever I'd post my videos, I think pet owners, realize what's going on in the videos. But veterinary professionals are like, oh my gosh, yes, that's so true. Yeah. And I love posting those videos, but it basically became this, platform where I would be talking to other veterinary professionals. And so it kind of grew from there, and I wanted to expand and do more things other than just videos. I started doing Project Golden Vet, which was me going and gifting free things to other, hardworking, deserving clinics. Or, in Vet Tech Week, doing the same thing, gifting things to other vet techs.
So one of the things I think I like the most about you is when I look at a lot of your work, it resonates a lot with me because I have had that same journey of talking to vet professionals. Because my original plan was to talk to pet owners. And it never sparked the same enjoyment for me as talking to other vet professionals. And no shade on pet owners, you know what I mean? But and again, I see a lot of people who really love talking directly to pet owners. And there are some great, Adam Chrisman is an example. He does great work talking to pet owners. And there's lots of others, but he's the first one that pops in my mind. And but he clearly loves it. And I never got that excited about making pet education videos. And I did it. And I went through a phase when I was like, all right, I'm going to really try this. And it never lit my fire, like talking to other vet professionals who get it and like having those sort of inside jokes. And so I really love it. Talk to me about the Golden Vet program. So I love this idea that you sort of show up and you do something nice. How did you get that idea that like you were gonna, presumably this is always a fear that I have, is I think about half the vet clinic in America, probably someone in there knows who I am. Like that. But that's it. Like, tops. And like,
I could just say DrAndyRoark and people know who I'm talking about.
It's like, but I never take that for granted or anything. And so the idea of me walking into a vet clinic, like I would have to be private. I would have to know someone there knows me, and I'm not gonna just look like a weirdo. Like how did this become a thing in your life?
So
I just imagine me coming in and being like, "Sir, do you have an appointment, sir?" I'm like, "No."
I was afraid of that happening too, but I made it. There's a whole lot of behind the scenes that went on to make sure that didn't happen, because not everybody knows who I am. So yes, whenever I did Project Golden Vet, and I think a lot of people thought I was crazy when I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go give free stuff to these clinics and just really contests, and they're like, okay, Sarah, great. Like, how does this benefit you in any way? And I'm like, it doesn't. So what I would do, and I would work with like, I would get, donated items or sponsors and stuff. And I would, I get this big basket of just stuff, gift cards and just stuff that veterinary professionals can use, like those little clippers off of Amazon and just a whole bunch of different items that veterinary professionals would use. And I made sure, I said, to all these, companies that I would work with, I said, I want everyone to have one. I'm talking from the veterinarians and practice managers all the way down to the janitor.
You get a clipper. You get a clipper.
Exactly.
You get a clipper.
You get a TV. And so what I would do, and this is a kind of, sneak peek as far as behind the scenes, what people don't know what happens, is the way I would surprise them. Because it's actually, all those were genuine surprises whenever I would go and I would film their actual responses, actual reactions. I would contact the practice manager first. And I would honestly get on the phone, call the clinic, and pretend I'm someone else. And I would be like, I'm shadow.
I'm calling for Cheryl.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would be like, I had to get the practice manager on the phone somehow. And then when I was like, I would tell them, I'd say, okay, is anyone else listening? And they'd be like, no. And I'd be like,
still haven't identified yourself.
I'm not on speaker, and everything. And they'd be so weirded out until they found out why. And I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. I'm actually Sarah. This is the reason I'm calling. And we would schedule a time. The practice manager would help me schedule time, for like a quote fake staff meeting. And that's whenever I would go, and I would, we'd provide lunch. And I would go and surprise them during that time. The practice manager would be in on it. I would have another person come help me film and whatnot. And so that's how I kind of, got all that done. But it's also when, and a lot of the clinics were nominated. And the whole point of it was to also make sure that we feel appreciated in veterinary medicine. And it's important to get that on film, in my opinion, so that everybody else knows that, like, oh my gosh, we are appreciated as an industry. Like we've said, before, it's so hard in veterinary medicine. You get in this headspace of just, oh my gosh, depression, compassion fatigue, burnout. It's just out the wazoo. So I think movements like that And, in videos and everything, anything I can is just so important to show veterinary medicine that, it's possible.
Yeah.
Looking to protect your canine patients against parasites? Look no further than Simparica Trio, Serraline Moxidectin and Pyrantel chewable tablets. The first chewable to offer triple protection from heartworm disease, ticks and fleas, and roundworms and hookworms. It's also FDA approved to block infections that may cause Lyme disease by killing deer ticks.
Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures. Serraline belongs to the isoxazoline class, which has been associated with neurologic adverse reactions. The most common side effects were vomiting and diarrhea.
Visit SimparicaTrioDVM.com for full prescribing information.
What do you think are the keys to starting to build a brand as a technician? So let's talk about that a little bit, because you kind of started into this, and you enjoyed making videos. And then my impression after talking to you for a bit in the past has been that it kind of I don't think that you expected exactly what you got. Talk to me a little bit about that. What is if someone came up to you and said, "I'm a technician, I'm interested in building my brand." First of all, what does that even mean to you?
Building a brand, in my opinion, this is just me personally, building a brand is, I think, having something that is unique to, something that's unique that you can give people and you can show people, and something that, exemplifies yourself, I guess. So in building a brand, I think you do have to find something that is unique. And you know this as well. With Uncharted is a very unique program. A lot of what you do, there's uniqueness behind it. And whenever people say, "Oh, I want to do social media videos, I want to make my own brand," I'm like, okay, well, what is it going to be? Oh, well, it's just going to be some funny videos, maybe some educational videos and whatnot. And I think you really have to narrow down your niche, and whenever you are building that brand, to who you want your audience to be and who you are talking to. Because if it's just, again, I thought it would be pet owners, but then it turned out to be veterinary professionals. Once I found that out, I kind of zeroed in on that, and I was like, okay, there's so much I could do with this. And so those are my videos. I make silly, funny, relatable videos. No, they're not really educational, but people can kind of, understand that I know what I'm talking about whenever it comes to the industry, I guess.
Yeah.
And building your brand, there's, it's not just making the videos. It's going out of your way to do what other people really haven't done, or, figuring out your own style, I guess, things.
I think your own style is a big part of it. I'm curious if this is true with you. I never had a big brand plan. And I think people ask me about this, like how I'm making a brand, and like there's scaffolding. And it's funny, we had a huge discussion with the team today about Game of Thrones. And I don't know, we totally got into talking about Game of Thrones. So we're talking about George Martin, who wrote Game of Thrones. He has this quote that I really like, though. He's talking about other people writing books, and he said there's two kinds of authors. There are architects, and the architects are the people who scaffold everything. They have a plan, they know what they're building, and they go into building. And he said, I'm more of a gardener, where I just kind of plant things, and then you
see how it goes.
I see what grows here, and I water it, and the other stuff just kind of dies, and I just kind of go, I just kind of go on. And I was much more of a gardener of just,
You're the gardener.
I feel like that's probably the path with you as well. At least, especially
Yes.
about talking to vet professionals, is like I cast some seeds to talk to pet owners, and like, it's not that they didn't grow, it's just that they didn't spark joy in my heart. You know what I mean? And so I kind of I kind of let them wither in the sun, and then kind of kept watering the part that brought me joy, and it kind of, I don't know, went there. I think a lot of it too. So I sort of look at sort of your career and then my own. It's like, when I came up, really started building a brand and things like that. Facebook was the only game. It was Facebook and Twitter, and that was like the only game in town. And I liked Facebook at the time and kind of what it was, and it worked for me. And I like to tell jokes, and Facebook was good for, like, at the time, letting me do some writing in paragraph kind of format and things like that. And then now the world has kind of changed, and it's not the same, and that path isn't necessarily open. But then here you come, and you're kind of making these short 60-second videos, and they work really well. And you've sort of found this medium that works for you. And it's funny, I think it's because of how sort of what I've done in the past. I struggle to make things in 60 seconds that are really funny and sort of punchy. It's not my art. And so when you're saying you should find the thing that's your thing, or find your style. I think that that's really true. And I think that, sometimes your style matches up with the platforms that are available really well. And sometimes I think it doesn't. I think there's probably some really amazing writers out there, but I think it's probably much harder to really build your brand. There's just not as many opportunities, and people just don't read like they did
Right.
10, 20 years ago, and
I
so
can say that because my sister's an author and she's trying social media, and it is a lot more of a struggle because because again, people don't read as many books as I think they used to. There's still a niche for that. There's still, area, for growth there. But I think it's a lot more difficult for her. And I think honestly, luck was on my side as well. Like I don't chalk it up to like, oh yes, this was a plan all the time and I made myself the way it is. Like I think a lot of it, like you said, was luck, and just like when something worked, then you zero in on that.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with that.
well, it's definitely luck for me. I tell people that all the time. Like my wife and I had our first child in 2008. And that's when I graduated from vet school. So I was a brand new vet with just wide eyes. And I got on Facebook to share pictures of my baby with my family. And like all of these, and Facebook was just taking off. And they were like, sure, you posted stuff. Come on. And it was just, there was no money driving it. There was no algorithm. It was just like, you got whoever posted in order was there. And it was just, but it was kind of this right place, right time. But I think that opportunities keep opening up for people. But I don't know. I think you have to find your art. And I think you have to find your style. I think that was part of the thing for me. And I just kind of wanted to see how you feel at this. Is for me, I think one of the mistakes that I think a lot of people make in sort of working online or trying to sort of build a brand or something like that is that they really focus on trying to go viral. And I think what I did that worked well was I put that out of my mind, and I tried to find people who liked my specific goofy self. And try to talk to them again and again and again. You know what I mean? And like you zoom in on those people who go, oh, I think she's really funny. And if someone likes your different types of dogs on the scale video, they're probably going to like your, I don't know, everyone finds underwear in dogs video, like whatever the other things are. But like, I don't know. I'm curious if you agree with that. I'm curious if you have found that kind of zeroing in on what you enjoy and what you get feedback on has been beneficial over continuing just to try different things. I don't know. What do you think?
Yes. No, I actually wholeheartedly agree with that, because if your channel, whatever it is, for me, it was my, TikTok and Instagram mainly, for me, it was my channels. If you don't have a purpose or something that you're adding value to your followers, your viewers' lives, then if you're just basing it off of like, I just want a video to go viral, then yes, I don't think it's going to work out very well. If you're just like, I want this one to go viral, like, then if that's the whole point, then it's not going to, your channel has to have some sort of value to your viewers. So whether that, means they're coming to me because they are a self-conscious veterinary technician that, just needs those laughs, or you're a veterinarian that just, wants to, find happiness at the end of the day, whatever, those are, the people that you're finding. So you have to really focus on that and adding value to other people's lives. I still actually remember one of your older videos, and this is one of the ones that inspired me to do my channel. It was a technician talking to a pet owner, and the technician says, okay, so what's wrong with, Max today? And the owner says, oh, nothing that can, or sorry, no, he says, is there anything Max could have eaten or gotten into that you could think of? And the owner's like, no, I really can't think of anything. And then the veterinarian, Dr. Roark, comes in. Okay, I hear, Max hasn't been eating. Oh, he ate an entire meatloaf. I died, because we all know that's so relatable. The vet techs go in and we're like, anything. And then the veterinarian comes in and they give you the life story, and you're like, well, great. I just, I look like I can't get a history and everything. But just the fact that it's so relatable. And I also love that, one of your ways your brand got built up is also, advocating for the veterinary technicians and for education and everything. So the fact that you add that value to people's lives and that you have all these other things to offer, people are curious. People click on your profile and they say, oh, what is Dr. Roark about? Like, I like this video. What else do they have? So in that, once that starts happening, then I feel like people have developed their own brand whenever they're like, what else do you have? Oh my gosh, I love their stuff. Let me follow them. Let me keep up with them.
Yeah. Do you still think that consistency is the key in posting? So let me give you a hard choice here. On a spectrum from like 1 to 10, 10 is maximum number output of videos or content, is maximum content output. That's low quality. And 1 is minimum content output, but high quality. Like you have really worked hard on this. Where are you on this spectrum? Are you team just fire, and something will be good? Are you team don't let it go until it's perfect? Where are you on that spectrum?
I'm more on the end of the higher quality, but also it's important to be consistent. So it is, there's a both, but I would say, let's say a 4, because I'm more on the end of higher quality. If I don't love a video that I am about to post, I don't post it. I've gone through and I've deleted drafts, and I've been like, nope, I'm not going to post that one, just because like if I haven't posted it in like a week and it's just still sitting there, then I'm like, and then it's not going to do well in my mind, you know? And sometimes, ones that you think are going to go well, don't. And sometimes one that you're like, okay, like the black tongue video that I had talked to you about earlier, the one that has 47 million views on Instagram, was just like okay, not one that I not one that I didn't think would do well, but I'm like, okay, I'll just post this one.
I never would, and no shade here. I never would have thought that, you know what I mean? Like making that, I would have been like, this is a fun little afternoon thing that I'm doing. But again, like if you said to me, Andy, true or false, this video is going to get 47 million views, I would be like, the odds are astronomically small. But here we are. I'm with you. Like I could never have looked at that and been like, yep, this is the next viral sensation. Like it was
right.
Yeah,
I'm never that, I'm never that way. I love to post videos and I'm never like, this one's going to do so well. Like, but you never know, man. The algorithm works in mysterious ways sometimes.
The more I love something, the more likely it is to die a horrible algorithm death. That's what I found. If I'm like, yeah, this is it, it's going to die. If I'm like, no, feel heaven. Sarah Parsons, thanks so much for being here. Where can people find you online if they haven't seen your 47 million view black tongue video?
I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, my social media videos, and my handle is at What Really Happens at the Vet, with what spelled W-A-T, so what really happens at the vet. And then my website's vettechsarahparsons.com, so you can find me on any of those platforms.
Awesome. Sarah, thanks for being here. Guys, thanks for tuning in and listening. Take care of yourselves, everybody.
Thank you.
And that's it. That's what we got. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Sarah, thanks for being here. Sarah will be speaking at the Uncharted Team Lead Summit on September the 18th. That is a virtual summit for team leads. So if you're a head technician, if you are a head kennel technician, if you are a lead CSR, lead receptionist, check it out. It's a one-day leadership communication summit. I think you'll really enjoy it. Sarah will be there putting on a workshop. I'll be there as well doing some stuff. It'll be a good time. Anyway, take care of yourselves, everybody. I'll talk to you later.